Your spreadsheet says yes, but your bank balance says no. Stop buying great deals that lock your cash for 5 years. So most property investors obsess over profit. We made 80 grand on this flip. Cool story. If you made 80 grand profit, but all your money is trapped in the deal, you didn't build a portfolio, you just bought yourself another job you can't leave. Investors who actually scale from 1 to 10 to 20 units, they don't worship profit screenshots. They worship cash recycling. How fast can I get my money back and put it into the next deal? Now in this video, I'm going to break down what cash in versus cash out really means, why it matters more than headline profit, and how serious auction refurb investors structure deals so they pull the most or all of their cash back at refinance. If you're doing UK refurbs and you actually care about growing a portfolio, not flexing on Instagram, this is for you. If that's you, hit like so YouTube pushes this to more serious investors instead of wannabes. Chapter 1, what cash in versus cash out actually means. Now, most investors start with the wrong question. How much profit will I make? Instead of, how much of my cash can I recycle? Let's define the terms. Cash in is every pound that leaves your pocket. Deposit, stamp duty, legal fees, broker, lender fees, bridging interest and costs, refurb costs, contingency, holding costs while it's empty. That's your real skin in the game. Cash out is what comes back into your bank at refinance. So the new mortgage based on the end value, minus whatever debt you're paying off, minus refurb costs. The holy grail is simple. Cash out equals cash in. You get your money back. It goes into the next project. The asset you just created pays you while you sleep. Portfolios don't scale because you work hard or save harder. They scale because the same 50, 100, 250 keeps going round and round faster. Now, if you want more of this kind of nuts and bolts content instead of hype, subscribe now. This whole channel is built for people who actually buy, not just binge YouTube. Chapter 2, why costing a refurb is non-negotiable. Most refurbs fail before you ever pick up the keys. Not on site, on the spreadsheet. Here's the pattern I see over and over. You undercost the refurb by 20 grand. The job overruns, holding costs go up, market shifts a bit, values come in light, your refinance is short, your cash gets trapped. And now you're stuck. No money on the next deal. You're in property, but you're not moving. Professional investors cost refurbs in layers, not vibes. So cosmetic, paint, floors, kitchens, bathrooms, structural, roofs, damp, walls, layout changes, compliance, so gas, fire regs, EPC, building control, finish level, what's actually required to hit the valuation you're aiming for. Valuers do not care what you spend. They care what it's worth compared to similar stock, and does the refurbishment justify the uplift. If the refurb doesn't logically justify the end value you've put in your spreadsheet, the deal is fake. The profit is fake, the recycling is fake. That's how investors quietly go broke in profitable deals. Chapter 3, choosing the right builder, not the cheapest. The cheapest builder is usually the most expensive mistake. Everyone learns this once, expensively. Here's what actually matters, more than the day one quote. A fixed price scope of works in writing, clear payment stages tied to milestones, not feelings. Real experience with refurbs and conversions, not just nice kitchen extensions. Realistic availability, not, yeah mate, we can start whenever. Bid red flags, we'll work it out as we go. No written schedule of works. One quote is way cheaper than everyone else. They can't start for 10 weeks, but magically can if you pay cash. One bad builder can destroy your timeline, your refinance window, your ability to recycle cash and do the next deal. You're not hiring labor, you're hiring risk management. Now, if you've ever been burned by a cheap builder, hit like so I know more people can see this before they sign something stupid. Chapter 4, working out all the costs, the ones people miss. So this is where deals quietly die, sloppy costings. Here's what must be in your spreadsheet before you ever view. Never mind bid, purchase price, stamp duty, legal fees on purchase and refinance, broker, lender arrangement fees, bridging interest and exit fees, refurb budget, contingency, minimum 10%, ideally 15%, council tax while empty, utilities during work, insurance during work, valuation and survey fees, any plan, building control, professional fees. Only then do you ask the question, at a realistic end value, what does the refinance actually give me back? Rough rule of thumb, most of my cash back, that's a good deal. Some of it back, maybe if the profit and cash flow justify it. Hardly any, you're just volunteering to be broke for the next 12 to 18 months, walk. Comment cash if you've ever done this exercise and realized a great deal was actually terrible once all the costs went in. Chapter 5, profit margin versus cash recycling. So here's the line that upsets people the most. A lower profit deal with cash recycling beats a higher profit deal with trapped capital every single time. Why? Because the game is not maximum profit per deal. The game is velocity. You can do the next deal now, not in 2 years. Your experience compounds faster. Your risk per deal actually goes down because no single project can sink you. Rough target metrics the pros use: 15 to 20% profit on total costs, 75% LTV refinance, supported by real comparables, conservative rent numbers that still work at that debt level, and most importantly, cash in, cash out at refi. If you're making 30% on paper but leaving 40% of your capital in every deal, you'll run out of money long before you run out of opportunities. Stop optimizing for bragging rights and start optimizing for recycling speed. Chapter 6, auctions, what to do upfront. Auction success is decided before you wave the paddle. If you're doing this in the car, park 10 minutes before the auction, you're gambling, you're not investing. Here's the upfront checklist. I'd use desktop valuation comparables. What have similar refurb units actually sold for recently? A realistic end value, not what you need it to be for the spreadsheet to work. Refurb costs, line by line with a builder who's seen the video and the legal pack. Finance decision in principle. Can bridging actually be done on this, and what sort of numbers? Exit stress tested. What happens if the valuation is 5 or 10% lower or the rates are a bit higher? If you can't see the refinance and roughly what cash comes back on day one, you're not buying a property, you're buying a lottery ticket with great photos. At auction, you're buying a set of numbers: purchase, refurb, end value, refinance. The bricks are just the packaging. Chapter 7, final framework, the cash recycling filter. Now, before every deal, run this 4-question filter. Can I justify the end value with real comparables? Does the refurb logically support the value? Does the refinance at a conservative loan to value give me most of my cash back? If this works, can I repeat this process with the same pot of money? If the answer is no, the deal fails the test. There will always be another auction. There will not always be more capital. You don't go broke from deals you say no to. You go broke from the 1 to 2 you said yes to because you were bored or emotional. If you actually want a portfolio, stop chasing profit screenshots. Start chasing cash recycling. If this changed how you look at refurbs, hit like so more serious investors see it. Subscribe if you want real world finance and refurb strategy, not just theory. And if you've got a deal you're looking at and you want help structuring it so your cash comes back out at refinance, hit the link in the description. Send me the numbers. I'll tell you straight if it's fundable or if you should walk away.